Should music producers, aka beat makers, upload their beats to DistroKid? Let's talk about it. What is going on, guys? So I saw this question in the comment section of my last video, and I thought it was really important that I addressed it in this video because it's a good question. Nonetheless, I know it seems like I am going a little bit crazy on people in these videos, but I have pure intentions to make sure that you guys understand that it is important to have your music on every platform as humanly possible, and DistroKid probably does the best job doing that because it gets it to every streaming site humanly possible. Guess what? Most people consume music on streaming platforms such as Spotify, Apple Music, and etc. Like, it's important that you have your music out there. And I think a lot of music producers don't understand the true potential there is to putting your music out there and getting it heard and being able to make passive income from it. So therefore you can be a full-time musician and live your dream. And it's important that you do know these type of things because it's a lot of work, and sometimes things will vary for other people. Like, people have different experiences from this. But long story short, yes. I mean, let's be real about it. Like, I don't want to get too deep into this video, but I mean, Flying Lotus, look at this. I know this is an album, this is a physical album, and it's vinyl, and people are gonna say like, man, well, that's vinyl. Yeah, but at the same time, this is also available on streaming platforms, and therefore it is a instrumental. And I will talk about this more in another video because I want to talk about that as far as music producers putting albums together that don't have an artist singing on it or auto-tuning or whatever the case, or however they like to perform. So the main reason why it's important for you to upload your beats and stuff like that to DistroKid is because SoundCloud doesn't get your stuff on Spotify or Apple, and those are the biggest pieces of the pie when it comes to being discovered. If you look at other analytics out there or other streaming sites like YouTube, you'll see things like, or labels like Chilled Cow, and if you look at that for what it is, it promotes a lot of music out there. And I know a lot of people are gonna say, well, I heard that DistroKid doesn't have YouTube Content ID. Yes, it does, but it's not as abrasive or interruptive as other platforms are, like CD Baby. And I've had the worst experience on CD Baby when it comes to YouTube Content ID, that even I felt disrupted from it on my own channel. And I make way more on YouTube than I did from just CD Baby collecting from YouTube. Not to mention, and I'm not trying to bash CD Baby in this video, but not to mention I got paid far less because they take out a percentage. And that is another important thing. Like, DistroKid gives you 100% of your commission, and I don't think I stressed that in other videos, but it is needed for me to express that. Like, yeah, you get 100% of your commission, so that makes it a whole lot easier and better to deal with. And it's at a bare minimum of $20 a year. So if you pay $20 a year to upload your music nonstop to DistroKid. Now, I know there are some people out there that say, oh, why? Well, DistroKid stopped me from putting my music out there. I try to upload a whole bunch of my music, and then I start asking questions like, did you upload it to CD Baby or TuneCore or other things? And yeah, they will take it off the platform if you have done stuff like that, and they're quite transparent about that too because it's in the TOS. So, but those people deleted their message. I don't know. But other than that, I think it's important that you do DistroKid because it does put you out on other streaming platforms. And if I look at other websites, which I want to do a better comparison video with DistroKid, Bandzoogle, and BeatStars in another video, but I did do a comparison with Bandzoogle and BeatStars. But if I was to compare Bandzoogle and BeatStars to DistroKid and to sum it up in this video, well, guess what? DistroKid gets your music out there on different platforms, while BeatStars allows you to sell beats, and Bandzoogle allows you to sell music too, as well as like different merchandise. But you need to establish some type of viewership of some source, or put your music out there to where people can discover it. One of the biggest eye openers for me was probably when I was catching an Uber one day and I heard a Uber driver listening to nothing but lo-fi beats. Like, she was listening to nothing but lo-fi beats, and she was enjoying that ride from the lo-fi beats. And then, funny enough, when I went back home, a different Uber driver was listening to a whole bunch of instrumentals. And then I started to think to myself, like, damn, why don't I have beats just for people to listen to? Why don't I establish some type of label like Chill Cow and the many other labels out there on YouTube to put stuff out there? Now, don't get it twisted. I have put music on YouTube, but I have not established some type of playlist in any shape or form. So therefore, when I utilize DistroKid in this future, of course I'm going to do that. And that was the main reason why I went from being in the lower tier of $20 for one artist. And let me stress this as well. If you do collaborate with somebody and you have the $20 service, you do have to upgrade your service, or you have to pay an extra fee to add a collaboration. So therefore, I want to make sure that that's clear so nobody doesn't jump in the comment section and say, well, it's just not $20. That makes me want to get the highest tier and have a label, because you know, the intake of views and people that are watching me, and the fact that I understand how to promote music and stuff like that, which I did a video on that as well. I'm going to make sure that you look at the top right of the screen and, you know, understand how your audience works and how you should supply your audience with good content. I should put more beats out there, because for me, coming from the background that I'm from, where my parents listen to a lot of jazz and a lot of my friends listen to a lot of other music like dubstep and techno that doesn't involve or need an artist to be on it singing or a lyricist of any sorts. Yeah, people like instrumentation. Now, that's a lot to be said. How many people like acapellas? Yeah, that's what I thought. But so that makes it a perfect time to bring in a word from our sponsor, DistroKid. This video is sponsored by DistroKid. DistroKid is a digital distribution company for independent artists, musicians, and music producers to get your music heard on all major streaming platforms, which include Spotify, Apple Music, Google Play, Amazon, Tidal, TikTok, and more. The plans start off at $20 a year and you get unlimited uploads. Unlimited uploads! It's different from other platforms like TuneCore and CD Baby, which charge you each time that you release music. Dang! Not to mention, DistroKid has access to new music playlists and artist spotlights. Use the link on the screen or in the description to get 7% off. What you waiting for? So to sum things up, I like BeatStars. I think it's a great site. I'm not a part of BeatStars anymore, but I won't knock it for what it is, because if you sell a lot of beats on there, then that is great passive income. However, I think people have different audiences, and certain audiences may like to listen to stuff on Spotify and Apple Music and might not enjoy rapping over beats, and therefore you're supplying a different audience with a different need, and therefore that's where DistroKid comes in. If you look at the bottom line as far as money being spent, you're spending $20 a month on BeatStars, and you're spending $20 a year on DistroKid, and you get all your music out there. A similar story to Bandzoogle as well, $20 a month, but you got your music only on Bandzoogle, and you're going to need something of a service like DistroKid to have your music on streaming networks. So if you're serious about music, no matter if you make beats or you are a producer that works with artists, you should have DistroKid as well. So in short, it is important for you to have your music on different platforms. I won't knock it at all. So if you like BeatStars and you want to be on BeatStars selling beats, well, that's fine. Just keep in mind that you get a lot of plays per beat, and if you are one of those people that get a lot of plays per beat, you're missing out on passive income that you could have on DistroKid and a totally different audience where you can be an artist just because you make beats every day, and that is fantastic. And then you can drop albums, and same thing with Bandzoogle as well. If you're paying $20 a month for Bandzoogle, it would help if you have all your music on streaming platforms so that people can listen to it and then go ahead and get some merch from you as well. And even if you're just on YouTube selling beats, however you sell beats, and you're not a member of BeatStars or Bandzoogle, well, you can have your music being monetized no matter what, nonstop. And the same thing can be said about being on SoundCloud, and you pay $100 a year to be on SoundCloud. You're not getting your stuff out on Spotify or Apple Music or etc. You're just having your music being played, and you're not being able to monetize it, and people might not prefer SoundCloud.